Hello there and welcome to the new Tableau dashboard tutorial. And in this tutorial, I will not only show you about how you can create a dashboard. That's something which I have done most of the times in my previous tutorials. But in this video, I will show you from where you can find the inspiration. And as you can see it here on my screen, that I have opened the Tableau Public. So Tableau Public is a great place where you can find the visualization of the day as the stunning or the great visualization which is being created by various different users and then being voted as the top visualization and presented over here as a visualization of the day. So that's something you can see it over here, like dashboard and some advanced designs which is being created, as you can see it over here, which is visually very appealing and as well as looks really good. And sometimes you have business dashboards like this one. So my focus is on the business dashboards. So over here, either you can go into the visualization of the day, or you can even search it over here for a given visualization. For example, if you are looking for a healthcare dashboard or something like that, you can come and click over here and search here. Also, what you can do is come over here in the featured visualization section, and over here what they have done is the segmentation of the visualization. So if you see over here, you have various different departments by which you can search for a given dashboard. For example, if you are from the finance department and looking for some sort of an inspiration or some sort of a design idea about what you can really create, what you can come over here is click in the featured visualization, click on the finance analytics, and it will show you the various different dashboards that is being created for the finance analytics. And based on that, you can search for the visualization. If you don't find anything over here, then I suggest you come here in the search and say finance, finance, and search. Here you will find a lot of dashboards. So the only thing is finding the right one or the good one is very important. Like for example, this one you may be interested, or as you can see, a lot of different pages that you have, and you can find the visualization about it. So similarly, I also keep basically searching for the visualization. I basically keep looking for the visualization to get the design idea, because sometimes you just running blank in terms of what you really need to do. And that's where I find some interesting authors. And today that's what I want to show you is one of the author that you can also follow. I am following that author, and I found her dashboard over here, the financial complaints dashboard. So what I am basically doing for you is instead that you all are spending your hours and hours in searching for the right visualization or a good visualization, I'm just spending time over there and giving you what, at least from my perspective, based on my experience, what I really found is good and something interesting from the perspective which you can show it or create your business dashboard. So this dashboard on the financial complaints, or maybe in another domain like healthcare complaint or your healthcare submission or insurance related stuff, you can basically create this type of a dashboard. So the good point, or if you will look at it, has a standard theme where you have the KPIs at the top and the related visualization in the below to the KPIs. And then on the left hand side, you have these filters. So it is your choice whether you want to have a banner like this. Generally, my view is that filters should be clearly visible over here on the top, and we can just simply allow the user to quickly click on or quickly search for the filter instead of these icons. That's what my recommendation is, but every user have a different perspective, so up to you, what do you want to do. But over here, the charts and visualizations which is being used is really good. As you will see that you have total complaints with some sort of a trend, you have timely response 98.1%, how many complaints are in progress, what is the disputed rate that you are having. Lower the dispute rate, better it is. and the resolved at no cost. No cost means you have not given any sort of monetary benefit. For example, if a transaction happened which is because of the mistake of your company, then you have to give the user amount back, right? So scenarios like those, I mean, that can be one scenario, but there can be other scenarios as well. So what we have back in the data set is something which I will show you, is the different components in terms of whether the complaint resolved on cost or not cost. And then you have complaint by issue, like the different issues in which the complaint has come, complaint by state. So here the hexagon is being used in as a state, and I'll show you how you can create this type of a chart. Complaints by media. Here also, if you see, an interactive chart is being used. That's what I like. I mean, it's not just the bar chart. However, you can show this information in a simple bar chart, but a bar chart has been taken to a next level where you have the dots and the end, which is indicating, or taking the user attention as to how much each complaints are coming by media, along with the percentage and the actual value. Then you have the complaints by products, very simple one, but here you will see the average over here. What could have been improved over here is that those which are, so basically providing the context to your chart, where you have the chart where the complaints which are above average by product is being highlighted with a different color, maybe like a blue, which are below the average is highlighted with the color that is, let's say, gray, for example, this one, because just to keep it consistent, right? Like this one over here. So this is something which I've shown you as to how you can do that in my previous video, where I created a video to show the top 2, top 3, or top 5. The only thing is, in this case, you have to find the rank that is below the average. That's a hint I'm giving you. The video link, this video link which I'm referring, is in the description, that you can follow and improve this chart. And then finally what you have is the percentage consumer disputed, just a high level view of how many customers have been disputed. Yes is this one, so just 9.8%, and that's what's being shown over there. In cases like this, I feel like I think twice whether this chart is really helpful or not. Reason for this is that you are showing 9.8% over here and over there as well, and 41.3 is something where no user have been disputed, and 48.9 is the unknown. I mean, that's something good to know, but what action you will going to take is something you always ask, whether this particular chart is encouraging any sort of action. I think what could have been better in this case is, by, let's say, each product, if we want to find out just for 9.8% that how many customers are basically disputing. That means in which product the dispute is coming more. That's probably more actionable. You can hold the product manager accountable. So that's something we can experiment and maybe try to improve this chart as we will going through. But let me know in the comments as to what you think from your perspective about this dashboard that can be improved, or that can be something which will become more actionable and meaningful. However, I feel like overall design of the chart is real. The design of the dashboard is really nice and something you, I, and anyone can use it. But the whole thing is that many of you are beginners, and reaching out many times to me with a good dashboard, or dashboard which are being published either on the Makeover Monday community or here with these links. So I just thought, why not I show you a couple of examples in this series where I just decode these dashboards which is being created by all of these wonderful authors like Gandes Goldestan. And what you can do is also you can click over here and you can see her all of the dashboard. So she is from Jakarta, Indonesia, and 2-time voted. That means her visualization is being considered really nice. And as you can see from her work, that a lot of really good work is being done over here, right? So you can go and follow. I'm already following her, so So that's something you can also follow her and see her work and get some ideas about your own work. So with that, I wanted to give you just a quick introduction about this particular dashboard, which I thought I will decode it for you, show you step by step how you can create it. So this will going to be a little lengthy because what I will do is create everything from the scratch and show you. So if you're up with me for creating this dashboard, then let's go ahead. And if you want me to decode any other dashboard that you are finding useful, then send it to me. I'm having my I think on the screen or maybe in the description, I'm giving my email ID. So why not send it to me, and I will take a look, decode it first of all myself. That's what I did even in this case. I decoded it and now I will present it again to you. So that's something I can take a look. If any of the dashboard that you have an interest and you are finding it difficult to decode, then I'll decode it and put it over here. So all the links and everything related to this dashboard which you are seeing and the author that you are having over here is in the description, as well as you can go ahead and download this template as well from here directly from the given links. And Tableau workbook is something what you have, which you can download. When you click over here, you will see that what version you want to download. So without much of a delay, that's just a quick overview. Let's start with the data. I will start with the data and then we will look how we can create these visualization step by step. All right, so let's get started. All right, now let's look at the data set that is behind this. And the data set name is the financial consumer complaints. Okay, so from where you can get this data? So this data is being maintained by Mark Brent Born over here. I'm sorry, Mark, if you're watching this and I'm pronouncing your name incorrect, but Mark has created these data set, this website or this section on the data.world. The link I will give you over here. So this is data.world, Mark Bradburn, and RWFT, real world fake data. That's the acronym, real world fake data. And here you will find not just the financial consumer complaint, but you can get it for human resources, insurance, call center. So this is something which is present for your, giving you an experience or exposures to some, real world sort of a data or those variables which is being maintained in the real world. All right, so let's come it over here. So once you will download the financial consumer complaints, you will going to get the complaint ID, when it was submitted, what was the product. If you remember, by product we have one view, we have sub-product based on this, an additional detail like in the mortgage, the conventional home mortgage, and what is the issue, trouble during the payment process or struggling to pay mortgage. It can be anything based on case basis. And then there is a sub issue as well. What is the public response of the company? Looks like it is a pretty standard statement over here. Company has responded to the consumer and CFPB chooses not to provide public response, all of that. Let's filter, see in the filter. Yep, even in the filter we can see there is just two responses, so nothing very useful over here. What is the company name? Company name is this, Cumulus Financial. State, FL, Florida, AK and all that. This is the states in the United USA. So after that you have the zip code, the tags, consumer consent provided, whether consumer consent provided, not provided, consent withdrawn, all of that. And then here is this interesting detail which is submitted via. So you have like multiple values over here. You have whether the complaint is submitted via email, fax, phone, postmail, referral, web, by what medium the complaint was filed. Then on what date you have received, whether the same day. So for example, the complaint have been submitted on the 24th Feb and it received on 24th of Feb, that means the same day. But in case of this, which is December 5, 2014, you get it here on the December 8th. That means after 3 days you have got the complaint. So in certain cases you have the same day of receiving as you submitted, but in some cases you are receiving the complaint little late. So that can be a variable of interest as well if you want to further dig into what's really happening there, and in which particular product or in which particular issue type it is happening. It can be a matter of research. However, it is not shown in the dashboard, but when you do the analysis, this can be something useful, because if you are receiving the complaint late, you will act on late, and this will result into a negative customer experience. So a variable can be the percentage of tickets received on time, or percentage of complaints received not received on time, like we have done in case of the timely response or not. So in the same way, we have company response to the consumer, whether you closed with explanation, closed with monetary relief. And if you remember, that's one of the things we looked at when we saw this dashboard, resolved at no cost. So that means wherever the monetary relief is being given, that means it is a cost involved. Anything other than this is resolved at no cost. And then finally, after that, you have the whether it is timely response or not. So it is yes or no. So this is one KPI that we created. And after that, you have the consumer disputed, whether the consumer filed a dispute or not. Yes, no, NA. That's where we have created, or in the dashboard, the chart was shown here, as well as this disputed rate is 9.8% as the KPI which was created. So as you can see, it's not too big, then not too less, and has a lot of real world information for doing the practice. So we will create a very step-by-step dashboard to just so that the look and feel is very similar to the dashboard that we were looking at over here. And I have shown you how you can download it. If you want to download a template, you can come down there in the end. It will show it in a minute. And then whatever version that you are using, over here, this download button, whatever version you are using in the Tableau workbook, you can go ahead and download it if you want to further look into this. So okay, so what we can do is I can come over here and click on new, file new, and what it will give you is this Tableau desktop 2020.12, and I'll close this and I will expand this. Now what I will going to do is connect to I think it was a CSV file. Cancel, text file, or WFT. As you can see, I have downloaded all of the data sets, and the one which I'm using is the complete financial complaints. Click open. So you have the data sets over here, or the data value of the data set over here, and then we can go into the sheet 1. So we will start with the creation of these KPIs. So the first thing is, the color which is being used over here, and that's the reason you may need to, either you can use a different color, or you can actually see this particular color itself. So if you want to see only this particular color, then you need to download this template like I have downloaded, and then over here in the color, you can look at the color which is being used over here. This is the particular color, and this is the color code 3B9 FDC 3B9 FDC. So what you can do is select this and copy this. Okay, cancel, and you come here, and over here in more. So I have already, because I've used it previously, so I have already have it here. But in more colors, you can go ahead and paste. Sorry, delete this. For some reason, it does not delete it for me. And click OK, and this is the color which you will going to choose. All right. So what do we have is the total complaint. So over here, this is the financial consumer complaint. So what I will going to do is, first of all, I will going to write the sheet name as total complaints. So total complaints is here, PLA. Okay, this is a wrong spelling. Total complaints. All right. And we'll double click over here. We will reduce it. As you can see here in this dashboard, the title is pretty low, and we will use Tableau book, and not that dark, but maybe this one. Apply. Now you can see it's relatively same in the center. Okay, so now it is here in the center. What we will going to do next is I will going to put the financial consumer complaint here, right? And then what we have is the trend. So date submitted, and I will select this over here. So date submitted is a date, right? And over here I'll select this. Why you are not coming? Okay, now it has come. And then we have the month. So if we select the month, that's what the month is. We select the color, that's where the color is. But if you see, this is being sort of color coded. So what you can do is you can bring this particular count of financial information by holding the command or control key and drag it over here. So make sure before you drag, hold down your command if you are using Mac, or control if you are using Windows. Hold down the command or control key and then drag it. Otherwise it will remove it from here and put it there, but when you hold down the control or command key, it will basically create a duplicate copy. And now you can see a sort of a effect which we were seeing it over there. So with that, what we can do is we need to remove these lines and everything. So first thing is remove this, come over here, go to format. We need to remove these grid lines, row grid lines. So come to this grid line row and remove this. Now it has been removed. Okay, and now the question is this KPI, right? So the KPI is something which we will going to get it from here. How? Well, see this. You double click over here in the title, come one level down, come to insert and click on this count of this. Select this, change the color to this, make it 24, and then Tableau medium, click apply, and okay. So what you are getting it over here is basically the reason for this is 192 1311 is basically based on the timeline that we are using it over here, and that's what we have used it over here in the detail. That's the reason it is basically showing us from 190 to 1311 is what we are getting, but we need to correct that. So for that, what we will going to do is create a calculated field, and we will say total complaints count, and we will use a LOD expression fixed, and then we will say count of, let's say, the complaint ID. So the complaint ID is also the number which is generated for each complaint. So that's what I've used. Instead of this one, we could have used this one as well. So for now, I'll just click apply. Okay, total complaint count, and if I just put it over here, come to here, remove this, and we use the sum of this, apply, and now you have 75513. So if we go into our dashboard over here, 75513 is what we get, but if you see, it is in black color. So just to make sure that we are consistent, because that's the main purpose, the theme and the arrangement and the visualization is pretty good in the dashboard, so we are just using this. All right, so now we have whatever we needed over there. So far you have seen that we are not creating, the different sheets, like one sheet for KPI, one sheet for trend, but in this particular sheet itself, we are creating more, and we are creating the complete visualization. Also, if you want to add anything else, let's say any percentage or anything, you can just come down there and keep on adding more information. Okay, like for example, you want to show some sort of like in current month how many complaints you have got, right? Things like those. So wherever necessary, we will add that. Okay, let's move on to the next KPI, and that is your timely response. So timely response has two indicators, as you can see, 98.1 and this chart. So timely response is based on this. If the timely response is yes, I'll just bring it over here. If the timely response is yes, then yep, otherwise no. So what you can do is create a calculated field and say timely response percentage. That's what we need, right? So the timely response percentage is basically based on your this condition if it is yes. So we will say if timely response is in double quotation, make sure the spelling is fine, yes, like this one, then complaint ID. And so what we were going to do, finally wrap this up in a count, because based on the complaint IDs, which is related to only yes, we need to count that, and we need to divide it by the total complaints over here, or these both no, yes or no. So what we can take is maybe the total complaints over here, but this will give an error because we cannot mix aggregate or non-aggregate with this function. All right, so let's just simply say count of complaint IDs and click apply and OK. Now we have timely response. The another thing we need to create is basically this bar as well, which is 98.1%. So first thing, let's do this, check whether 98, yeah, this is 98.05, ultimately 98.1%. So remove this for now, where we will write this sheet name as timely response, res. Timely response. As you can see, if I remember correctly, I used 10 and this gray color and Tableau book. You can use whatever is as per your company or your needs, personal needs of using the color, but I'm just trying to follow whatever is present here. Timely response. So we have timely response. We will going to get timely response percentage on detail. We will come here, down there, insert timely percentage, select this, black, make it 24, big, and make it Tableau medium, and apply and OK. So now we need to format this. So come over here, click on format, and on this number percentage, okay, you should show me the percentage, but no. Okay, so what we need to do is not here, then come over here. Nope, not even here. We need to go there itself in the pane. Okay, I was at access, but we need to go in pane. Percentage and 98.1. So that's what you get, right? So make sure you are in pane. I was incorrectly changing it over here. And then once we have this, so we have timely response, but to create this chart, we need to have the overall, the timely and non-timely response. So the non-timely response is nothing but the 1.9%, right? That's how it will going to create this entire 100%. So for that, what we were going to do is create the create the calculated field, saying that non-timely response 1 minus timely response percentage. Okay. So now what I will do is I will bring my measure values over here, and I will remove this I will remove this and I will keep only the timely and non-timely response. So you can see this is the timely and non-timely response values, and over here in the color we need to change the color by first putting it as a bar, and then we need to put the measure names over here on the color. So now you can see the two colors are coming, but what we need is this orange color. We need to change it into something what we need, right? So this needs to be changed to this, and double click here, change this to a lighter version of gray, click OK. We did the opposite. Okay, non-timely response, my dear friend, you should come here and click OK. Non-timely should be gray, so I'm here, light gray, OK. Okay, so now we have the non-timely response. Right click and uncheck this. So you have this visualization created, timely response 98.1 and the chart. So when we will put it in a dashboard, it will be squeezed or it will go down. All right. Then we have the in progress complaint. So in progress is something which is company response to customer. So I will come over here and say in progress. So over here, if I put it here in the rows, you will see that this is where in progress is present. So what you do is simply create a calculated field again, and you will say in progress, and you will see if company response to consumer is equals to in progress, then complaint ID, and you will wrap this on the count. So based on in progress complaint ID, take the count. Click OK. So you have in progress over here. So what I will do, I will put the in progress on the detail, right? And then what do we have is this. Again, to this dear friend, we will change it to 10 and lighter gray and Tableau book center. And then down there, we will insert the aggregate in progress, change this to a darker color, 24 font size, and Tableau medium. Just remember these things. And yeah, the color also need to change it. It was orange. So I'll change this. Okay. And then what do we have over here is 0.37%. That means that is the percentage of complaint that you have in progress, right? So over here, what we need to find out is the from the total how many you have in progress. So in progress percentage. So what do we have is in progress, remove this, divide by count of complaint, total complaint. Click OK. And then what you can probably do is put it here on the text. And then over here, text is this, alignment center. Okay, maybe we need to show it the entire view. And that's how it comes here. In the alignment, horizontal is center, vertical we can make it top so that it is near to this. Okay. And then we need to format it. Come here, format. Within the pane, you have percentage 0.37. So that's what we have got. All right. Now let's move on to the next one. The next one you have is resolved at no cost. Okay, so we will write the name resolved at, we'll write it in capital, resolved at no cost. Okay, so first thing is this is present here, which is closed with monetary relief, this one. That means the cost is involved. Other than that, closed, the cost is not involved. Okay, also if you want to be more accurate, we can remove this as well from our calculation, because within the in progress you really don't know whether the monetary relief is present or not. So for that, what we need is create a calculated field. We say monetary relief, we can say count of monetary relief. So again, if condition, if company response to consumer is equals to closed with monetary relief, then complaint ID and say count, put it under the count. That's it. So only we need to make sure that close with monetary relief and this should be same, right? Okay, where is if company response to, then yeah, because this squiggly line, the red line was coming, that's why I got concerned as to why this is coming. So we have the monetary relief, and this is basically showing resolved at no cost. So what we can do is we can create a duplicate and then go to edit, count of non-monetary relief, and over here the only thing we need to say is 1 minus this, 1 minus count of monetary relief. And because it is in percentage, we need to change this count of monetary monetary relief. We need to change this to a percentage. How? By dividing it to the overall complaint. Okay, so now we need to remove this. Non-monetary relief is over here. Come here in the format, in the pane, change it to percentage, 1 decimal. Come over here, first format this text, which is 10, middle, over here, Tableau book. So this is fine. And then what we do is we add this, and if you see, this is 84.5%, similar to what we were getting it over there. All right, so now we change this to Tableau medium, 24, the same setting we have been doing everywhere, and black, and apply, and OK. Now we need to create this particular bar, which is similar to how we did it earlier. So what we will do is we will bring the measure values over here, and we will keep only the monetary and non-monetary relief. This, change this to bar, put the measure name on color. So 84.5% is this, edit color, change this to RGB slider, come over here, remove this, add the color code which we have done it earlier or copied it earlier, and here I'm changing it to second gray one. Click OK and OK, And that's what we have it as the bar. We'll right click and show header. So now we have this 5 KPIs created. Okay, so this is a lot of work. I know mostly I'm showing you step by step, but if you are a complete beginner, it will be a lot of steps for you. But whole idea is that how you can create these types of dashboard by taking the inspiration from dashboards like this, which has been created by experienced users like this, which I've been showing right from the start, and basically create this step by step. Now we will move on to creation of these charts that is present here. So out of all these 5 charts, the complaint by product is the most simplest one. And then if I tell you with the level of complexity, after this is little bit complex, then this is also a little bit complex, and you need to understand the concept. And then finally you will find that these 2 charts are slightly at an advanced stage where it shows like out of the total how many complaint you are having it for a given issue. Similarly for complaint by media, the simple bar chart, but at the end the dot has been shown. So a little bit of more settings what we need to do to create these type of chart. So we will start with the simplest one. So we will go step by step. We will first start with the complaints by product. Okay, so here complaints by product, you will see I'm just saying complaint by product because I don't want to use it over name over here. Reason for this is, if you see, the complaint is light or the light gray, and this is the dark gray or slightly towards black. So what we do here, we change first of all this to Tableau, not light. Book is something which I've been using consistently, 10, and we say complaint by product. We will make this black. We will make this light gray. So you see, similar sort of effect. Select this, make it a center, click apply. Okay, so we need to choose the product, bring it on the rows. We need to choose the complaint, which is here, put it here, sort it. So we know, okay, for the credit card, the highest number of complaints coming. Then from here, standard, choose the entire view, and you will have it there in the entire view. In the color, come over here and choose this one, which we have been using. And then if you see, this is slightly bold and little bit less in font size, so right click format, and over here you have header, shading is fine, font is something we can change it to bold. Yeah, this should be okay, coming better. And then we can, so here you can reduce the size a little bit if you, but there in the front end also we have to adjust the size and everything. We are here, so we will remove these columns lines. So we will right click on format, and over here in these lines we will come to the column, and in the grid lines we will say none, and everything will be removed. So we will right click over here as well and uncheck the show header. So whatever we are showing is here. Then we have this 19176 as the text size. So we will show this, change this to lighter gray, and maybe to the size 8, right over here. Okay, then if you see, what we have is the average line here. So we come over here in analytics, we change this average line over here, put it on the table, but that average is quite strong as compared to this one, which is pretty light. So you'll right click, edit, come over here, first of all change this to this one, and yeah, maybe this one, click OK. And you see that it's changed to pretty light over here, right? If you observe this chart, I know it is slightly, so what I'll show is this in this dashboard which we have downloaded. It's basically, if you see, it shows that this is behind the bar, right? Not like this one what we are creating, that it is in front of the bar. I mean, choice is ours what we want, but we can change this. So we can right click on format, line is this, and we take this color, slightly darker color, and choose this to 50%, let's say. Now if you see, it has gone slightly, it gives us an impression that line is beyond or behind the bars. If you want, you can experiment a little bit more with the colors and everything, but yeah, that's what I will leave. And then I will go into the edit. Here in this chart, only the average is shown, but I want to show the value as well over here. So count of financial complaints, and then what do we have is basically what we are showing is the label, but we want to show custom. In custom, what I want is average, and then from here we choose the value. So what we get is 9439.125 as the value. So this is something what you can choose, like field name, field label, computation, if you want to have your own computation, or the value, whatever be the value is. So we will click OK. 9439.125. So if we right click on format, we see it over here in numbers. We change it to number custom and remove this decimal places. So on an average, the complaint will be coming as 9439. Okay, so this is the average line. Let me just double check. Over here also is the, yeah, same thing. The only thing is average is shown, but not the average complaint number. So what we have additionally shown is the average complaint count. We can also say average complaint count, but I think this much is fine. Alright, so your first chart is there with us. Okay, I was just trying to save it so that it is there. Saved it. Financial complaints. Okay, now what we need to do is move on to the next chart. The next chart is percentage customer disputed. So we will give it a name dispute because we will anyway have to change it over here. So I've just double click over here. Sorry if I'm going too fast, but percentage customer not computer disputed. All right, so we need to change this to a lighter gray like we have done, and this one to a slighter higher dark color. Make entire thing 10. Tableau book. Do we have to really do this for 10? Because this is slightly this one. Okay, so we just change this maybe to 12 or maybe 14. Apply and center and okay. All right. Yeah, fine. Percentage customer disputed. So this is basically based on how many customer have disputed, and what we need is the dispute count. So customer disputed is over here. So if I just come over here, so we see that only yes has the disputed customer. So create calculated field and say percentage customer disputed. Simple again, we will use the if condition. If consumer disputed is equals to yes, then complaint ID, and then we say count divide by count of complaint ID to get the percentage, right? So we have we have this both these value percentage customer disputed. So we'll calculate the percentage here in this case. Then we need to add and click OK. So percentage customer disputed is what we are having over here. So this is customer disputed. I'll just remove this. I will say percentage customer disputed and consumer disputed. Oops, not this one. Actually, if you see, this is where we actually don't need to create this percentage customer disputed, because we have to show all the three things: disputed, non-disputed, and NA. If I look here in this particular chart, we need all the three things. So what we need is this, and hold down the command key, and first of all select the pie over here, put this on the angle, and over here from the disputed, where is that consumer disputed, put it on the color. So here we have got what, at least to start with, the pie chart. So we have consumer disputed, we have this. So just 7363, we increase the size a little bit. Okay, so what we will going to do is, we will say over here we need to create a dual axis. So I will just create a dummy axis, minimum 0, and I will again say minimum 0. So what it will going to do is create a 2 basically pie chart. That's what it does, nothing else. So from the second one, this one, so I have first one which is here, I have second one which is here. So I just remove everything, right? Give it a color, give it a color as white. Okay, and make it what, dual axis. Yep. For the second one, I will increase the size, and now you see the pie chart is coming. That's all what we need, right? First you select the pie from this, bring the relevant value on the angle, you look at the numbers, the measure. On the color you look at, or you drop the dimension. Then just in case of donut, just add 2 min 0 min 0. These are like dummy calculation or dummy, just so that we have 2 basically pie chart. That's it, nothing beyond that. And then what we have is basically the initial look of our chart. So what we can do is, we can remove the header here, we can remove the header over here, also this particular line and everything. We just go into the format, and here in the column, I think it is present here for the entire sheet. I think none. Row divider is nope, and the column divider is nope, nothing. Yep, that's where you go. We have this. After that we work on the colors. So this blue one, NA, it needs to be lighter dark, so click OK. This one needs to be sort of purplish, maybe this one, click OK, click OK. And this one needs to be our regular one, yes, the customer who have disputed. So remove this, paste this, click OK, OK. And now this chart will be very similar to what we have it over here, right? Yep. The only thing is, we need to add the text labels. So if we enable this, what it gives is the text labels. So again, if we do that, what it shows is basically all of this. Alignment should be left, or what I can do is, I can make it like entire view. Yeah, now it is coming properly, as you can see. And then what we need is another value, which is count of financial complaint. So but what happens if we try to do that? If we try to add it over here, this is not showing anything. Reason is, we need to show one value as actual value, another is percentage. So what we do is we change this to quick table calculation, percent of total. So now 1 is percent to total over here, right? So if I just come over here, 1 is percentage to total. I'll just come over here in center, and even this I will put it in a center. And here percentage of total is present, but what we also need is the count of financial complaints. So if I try to bring it again, you see that 7563 has come. Yeah, and then this one need to be bold and this one need to be light gray. So we go there, we change this to this, bold 8, and Tableau book is fine. Even for this one, change this to 8, and this one apply. So what we have done is opposite. This one needs to be up there. So first of all, this is something I will drag it down. So this should, hold on, not here, then Control X, Control V, and this. So now this one I will change it to black and bold. Click apply. So yeah, 7563 is there, and percentage need to be surrounded by these brackets, and this needs to be lighter version, and click apply, and maybe a little bit more light. Click apply. Yeah, now I think it's okay. And alternatively I will just change this to maybe 10. Yeah, so that the impact is clear, right? So here it looks like in this case they have used the same level of font. So up to us, what do we want? If we want to change it, you can see that I'm again back there. Click OK, and I have it like this. So now we have our second chart also created, where what we are looking at is this, but what we don't need is this particular line. So we go in our format, and this is a row over here. Zero line we don't need. For the entire sheet we don't need zero line. Now the zero line has gone. So now we have this beautiful chart, which if you want you can experiment with. Like for example, you need to change the size of this donut, for example changing by this size. You can do that based on your need. So this way you will have your financial percentage customer disputed. Save this. Alright, so now let's move on to creating the next chart, and let's come here. The next chart we were going to create is this complaints by media. So complaints by media chart is basically the bar chart, but at the end you have these little dots which is making it attractive, and down there you have the values, like the text values of percentage and the actual value. So first of all, complaints by media. So we have complaints over here, right? And we have complaints via, submitted via, and then we create this chart. Okay, so if you see, this is a normal bar chart where the web is the highest one. So if you go there, web is the highest one. Now you see the difference between this chart and the default chart. Having this chart just gives a great look and feel to our dashboard, and that's the reason bit of a tuning is required to create this type of a chart. Okay, so what do we need to do? Well, we have this basic chart, but what we need to do is we need to modify it by adding the measure values over here. And here, along with this, I will just remove this entirely, but what I will going to add is the sum of 0. Again, that dummy dimension, right? So I will just check what I'm removing it. Total complaint. Yep. Remove this. We'll remove this. This. Everything other than all these two values, right? All right. So we have this and the measure values, the aggregated sum of 0. Now what do we need is basically need to do it dual access, as you would expect. Then synchronize the access. So access synchronized. All right. So count of financial values is something what we need, right? Over here, this is what the values are. For this measure values, what we do is we'll change it to a line. Okay, and the line should be based on the measure names that we are having. So from 0 to wherever the financial consultants is basically there. So it's based on the measure name, and that's what you get. First of all, this lollipop chart. So lollipop chart is one of those charts which I have shown long back in my videos. If you have seen that, the only thing is it is an improvisation of the lollipop chart, which is where what you do is you increase the size of the line, right? As you can see, I'm increasing this. Reduce the size of the circle a little bit, let's say more. Yeah, till here is fine, but the circle has gone in the back. So what do we need? First thing is let's add color to the circle. Let's come here in the coloring. We first add this and reduce the opacity so that we can see the circle. Can you see the circle? Is it coming along right? Yep. So now what do we need is increase the circle. That is it. In such a way that it looks like it is inside this chart and not outside. Yeah, this much is fine, but we can experiment a little bit. Let's say I increase the size a little bit more and increase this size also a little bit more, and that way it looks perfectly inside that line. So after that, you right click and uncheck the header. We don't need these lines, the vertical lines, which is a column line. So we right click and click on format, and over here in the columns, grid lines, none. So it is removed. Again, we have these headers, header line and zero line. So first of all, we don't need zero line, so zero line is gone. And after that, here the row divider, we don't need it, so row divider is gone. Column divider, we don't need it, column divider is gone. Okay, so it looks like we have our chart. So height, the labels, we can make it entire view. Yeah, so that's how your view is coming together. Also, if you see, we have the value in the end, the 50.37 and 38,036. So first thing is coming over here in this measure values is fine, but over here in the circle, what we will going to give is this label. Change it to percentage, quick table calculation, percent of total, and then we add one more time this label, and now this is this. Okay, after that what we do is we open this label. On the alignment, we come down here. Now we are below to this as per the chart. If we go back here, this is below to this, right? So what do we need is going into the again label, come here. So we have this. I will just select that, cut it. I will bring this up because we have to show the percentage, and then we have to show this and click apply. So now you see it has come here. If I select this and right, nope, nothing will happen here. So we will have to do it from the front end, from the label. Now the only thing is, changing this color. As you can see, first thing first is this color and this color. So first color is your this one, and second color is your light gray. Apply, and that's what you get. Change this entire to 8 so that it is a little bit more small. Click OK. Is it bold? Nope, it's not bold. Alright, so we have this. Now come to the label, alignment bottom, center, and you have it there. Isn't it what it is coming over here, right? So that way you can create this similar visualization with the similar type of font, the text. Now the only additional thing what is given over here, if you will select this chart, is this particular submitted via web. Count of financial complaint is this. So what do we do if we select here web or this referral? So first thing is, what it shows is submitted via web, the particular category. So what do we need is basically tooltip, right? So submitted via, we have this. Only thing is we have to color code it, make it blue. Another, I think the text is big, if I'm not wrong, yeah. And submitted via is the dark black. And let's change this to 14. Okay. And after that, what do we need is basically the complaint, the count of financial complaint is this much. So count of financial complaints is this CSV. First is the percentage, if I'm not wrong, just 38036, and in the brackets. Okay, so this, remove another text because we need finally, we don't need the measure names, but what we need is this information, and within the bracket, and the bracket needs to be in blue color. Okay, so this, and this needs to be proper black. All right, so this copy this, click OK, because what you will see is you will not going to get it here because we are in circle. So circle, automatic circle is basically here, but we need to go here on the line, go into the tooltip and paste it. Let's see. Yeah, the reason is we need to bring this information, these two information over there. Okay, count this, quick table calculation, percent of total, and this. Now you are getting it on the line as well, right? So you got it. Now this particular chart, now you can use it wherever you want in your dashboard, and we will going to create, I believe, our final chart, which is this one. It is also the same one, but with a little bit of calculation, because what it is doing, if you will see this particular chart, it not just show the managing the account and all of this information, but along with this it shows this line as well. So what it shows is for overall how many complaints you have, right? And then out of the total in each category how many complaints you have, right? So that's what we need to identify, the total complaint that we show, the static number that we need to show on each line. Okay. All right, so let's move ahead with this not the last chart. After this we have this chart. So that's why I said this will going to be a slightly lengthy video. I think we have already we have crossed 1 hour, but I think it is worth creating this. So let's go into our sheet. Okay, so here we are in our Tableau sheet. So the first thing what we can do is we can give it a proper name. So this is your complaints by media. Okay, I will just say media, and let's say complaint by, and I will change this to a darker one, right? By media, maybe even this one. Oh, it's in all full caps. So why not I write it again? Complain by media. By media is this needs to be toned down. So this overall we will good with 14. I think book is what we have been using, and the center. Apply. Okay. Yeah, the only thing is whatever we use, we make it consistent. Similarly, if you see over here in the here we are using it like bold and going a little bit down. Similarly over here for this we will right click and format, and here we will say 8 and we will increase this, make it bold. No, not bold, sorry, over here this one. So we right click and just see, okay, here Tableau book 8 and bold. Okay, sorry, this Tableau book 8, this bold. So the only thing is if you have the consistent formatting, you will not be having a problem. Now the 8th is, so this is about again this particular chart where first we identify these line or the total complaint or the maximum complaint. So idea over here is that the first, so we already know this particular piece, managing by account, what is the value. So if I just show you issue over here and financial complaints over here, and I switch it, sort it, we already know this piece. This is pretty straightforward bar chart, right? That's what it has been done. However, only thing is it has these both the edges as the line or the square. It's basically a square format, and this is a rounded edges. So we can do that. We have already done that over here. The only additional thing is you have these line. So this line is nothing but it talks about the maximum complaint you have in a given category. So for example, managing an account has the maximum complaint, and that's why going up till here. So if we know what dynamically, not of by if condition, but dynamically, if we know if what is our maximum count of a given category based on the filters and everything that we have, then how we can plot it. Then we can simply plot it over here and generate this chart, right? So for that, what we need is we need to create the basically LOD calculation, and let's call it the max complaint by category. And this will be, first we use fixed colon, and then over here what we need is count of, let's say we use the complaint ID. Okay, we have this will give us the count, but what we need for a given category, the maximum value. So we use max to get the maximum category, right? Up until here you should be fine if you already know the LOD. But essentially what we are doing, we are fixing, or we are basically trying to identify for a given category which is shown over here. That's why I have not specified anything. So whatever is present here will come. We are getting the count, and from that overall count we are getting the maximum count, right? And from this maximum count I am going to again use the LOD calculation so that I can plot it over there. So I will say fixed column. So first getting the maximum count based on all these different categories, and then out of that I'm getting the maximum count, and we are fixing it up so that it will not change, and click OK, right? So maximum complaint, so it will only give us one value, at that one value will be point drawn over here. So I will just remove this and I will say max complaint by category. So you will see that whatever you are getting is the maximum complaint, but it gives me the total complaint. So I'm missing something. Let me just go here. Fixed, max, fixed. Okay, over here I have to specify this category to get basically the maximum value. Otherwise, what it will give me just the entire count. So issue, fixed issue, and then from this value just give me the maximum value and fix it at the highest level. Let me close this and click apply. Okay, and now we have 8849, right? So this is the value what is for a given account, and I believe this is managing an account category. All right, so once we have managing an account, the next thing what we need is this measure values over here, and I will remove everything as you would expect what I am doing, because this is the second time I am doing it. So you will have a good idea as to what will going to happen here. Oops, Control Z, and I'll just add sum of 0, just a dummy one, and remove this. And again, I will follow the same procedure. I will change this to a line, no, not this one, sorry, but this one. Change this to a line. This will be based on measure values, and when you will increase, it will give you the rounded edges line chart, which we can then plot it in on top of this, and we reduce the size of this one to maximum. As you can see, change the color to maybe even this. We click over here, we come over here on the dual axis. On the dual axis, we change again this to bar. Okay, and over here the color will be this, right? Now little bit of formatting, so right click over here, go to format. Here this is columns, so columns, no grid lines, so none. Now those grid lines has been gone. After that, what do we have is this 0 line. So this is again on the 0 column, so none, so no 0 line is present. Also, I have to just make sure that I right click and click on synchronize axis, and again right click and click uncheck the show header. We just need to remove these two lines. So we come here from the sheet. We don't need this. We don't need column divider. And depends on how much we want to expand, we can expand. But all in all, at the end, what you get is the look and feel of that chart. Now, as an exercise, what do you need to do is format this like we have done it earlier for the two different charts. Right clicking here and going into the format, and add a tooltip over here. So tooltip will be based on this particular. So this, if you see, if I hover over to any of this one, what it gives is basically a good formatted tooltip, which is showing you the issue, the count of complaint, and down there it is showing you the sheet, right? So what happens is count of complaint by sub issue 6127, right? So this is nothing but the sheet. So if you come back here, in the tooltip, you have the option of inserting a sheet, right? So the bar chart, which you are seeing over here, which is the count of complaint by sub issues, is nothing but a different sheet with the same values. So this is something, a small exercise I am giving you. I have already shown you that whatever here count of complaint by sub issue, everything that is below there in this section as a bar chart is nothing but the sheet that you will going to come here in the tooltip. So again, I'll show you from the scratch. You will have to come here again on the tooltip, insert sheet, and whatever sheet that is there. Let me know if it if it is too difficult, because up until now I've shown you many topics, so I believe you should be able to follow it up and do a little bit of brainstorming and exercise on this piece. Okay, so once we have this, the last piece what we have, so first thing is this is complaint, or this is issue sheet, and the final sheet is by state. Okay, so we have states, right? And we have the what do you call the sheet, which is, sorry, we have the complaints. But what we are showing it over here is this hexagon, and hexagon, is something which you can create by following a simple block. Let me find the link for you and give it. Just give me, I'm pausing and coming back. Okay, so to create this particular chart, what I'm following is Service a lot, Matt Chambers. He's a Tableau Zen master, Tableau Iron Vase finalist, and he produced lots of amazing visualization. I also suggest that you follow this blog, Service a lot. You will going to get, I keep getting a lot of information and a lot of insights. So what I have done is I have basically followed this entire, and here you will find the links and everything, hexagon shape, which we will be using like this, and the Tableau shapes repository we need to add. The file can be downloaded here, the file which I'll be importing it. So all of this thing is present over here. So what you need is the file, the hexagon shape, and the putting the hexagon shape in the Tableau repository. At the end of the day, that is what we are doing. And this is the state, and this is the abbreviation, and this is the row and column on which it will be placed. Okay, so what do we do over here is this will come here, and we will going to add a file. So we will add a new data source, which is Microsoft Excel, and HexMap is the file which I downloaded from there. I'll click open, and this is HexMap, same thing, row, column, state, abbreviation. And then what we do is based on the abbreviation, it will be joined. So I come here in state sheet, abbreviation, and this is what it is present as state. So those are the two fields. So I will change the column name here in the main sheet as abbreviation, so that way it will have a connection. So for that, what I'll do is I will just copy this and paste it here so that it is easy for me. All right, so what do we need is row in rows, very simple, column in columns, very simple. And after that, once we have this, we need to come in the analysis and uncheck aggregate measures. Now you see the values are coming, but if we go here and look at this, Alaska is here and these values. So this is sort of changed. That's what we need to do, a little bit of change from this perspective. Okay, we have this down there, we are able to find this. I'm just making sure that everything is in place or not, otherwise it will be an issue. So yeah, I think this is the axis we need to reverse. So edit axis, reverse. Now I believe it will look okay, and that's the instruction which has been given. So this is fine, okay, and over here this based on the number of states that we have. So it looks like we are having the right values. Now what we need is abbreviation on the text, and shape. I have already copied that shape, and I believe I had pasted somewhere. Where is that? In the bars, I believe. Yeah, in the bars. Okay. and I will going to increase the size. As you can see over here, we don't need row and header, so uncheck this, uncheck this. We don't need even the grid lines, so format this, come here, none. Okay, we have this 0 line, I believe. Yeah, there you go. So we have this, and then what do we need is from the first data set, abbreviation has a link. We need financial complaints on the color, right? So this edit color, I will just make sure that we have the color that we need. Oops, abbreviation is something which I copied, so let me copy the color. So here is the, where have we gone, color code. Something happens sometimes whenever I pause this. Control V, okay, apply, okay, right? Now what do we need is alignment center, right? This is what we need. And then what we have is this chart. The only thing is we need to make it a little bit bold. Yeah, and make it 8, maybe. Yep. Right. So we have this chart which is complaints by states. So we change it again in caps. Complaint by states. So what do we do is make it not this one, sorry, by states. So everything needs to be 14, I believe. That's what we have been following in the Tableau book, right? And this one needs to tone down, and this one we can just tone up this and maybe put it in a center. Apply. Okay. Standard. What if I do entire view? Yeah, it's huge. So looks like my recording was paused because laptop got shut down. I did not have the power. It showed me the message, but as usual, we get so much zoned in into the creation of visualization that we forget. All right, now I have started the recording again, and we have what we need, right? Then what do we need is basically I think the filter. So you have two options. You can have this vertical banner and put it over there, but like I said, I just want user not to do a finding of filter or something like that, but put it at the top. That's just my preference. So that's probably I will do it here. So after that, we will start creating the dashboard. Okay. The dashboard is financial complaints overview. So FC overview, let's give it a name. And we add the text, financial complaints overview, right? There is a separator. This needs to be Tableau medium, black, maybe 28. This needs to be 28 as well, or maybe slightly less if I check this. Okay, financial complaints overview, slightly it is coming as this. I don't know, Tableau bold, black. Okay, yep, probably that's the one. Then what do we need is a horizontal container. So we just added that. Financial complaints overview. I will just reduce this because I need a little bit more space in the end. I can even have the option of adding, increasing the more space. Okay, so what have we added is the horizontal container. Now what we need is KPIs, total complaints, timely response, in progress. We need to adjust that for sure. And this requires a little bit of work. Resolved at no cost. And what else was there? Disputed, right? Dispute. Have we not created disputed, right? Resolved at not cost. Oop, okay. Alright, so we have not created the disputed rate, looks like the case. So what I remember I created that. Resolved at no cost, dispute, media, issue, state. Is it? We have not created this. Very nice. So what do you need is as an exercise, right? I will not going to do that. I have already done this and this one for you. So now 9.8% you need to do it for dispute rate by following the same logic. Dispute is present over here in this column. Consumer disputed. If it is yes, I remember I said disputed, but looks like I moved to the pie chart instead of that chart. So yes, you need to calculate both disputed and non-disputed and then create a chart like this one by following that and add it over here in this dashboard. For now, I'm just adding these four, creating space. This will be a good exercise because as you can see, this is an interactive or sort of a good KPI, which is, if you do a practice, that will be amazing. Okay, we have the space as you can see. Now, once we have this, we add one more horizontal container over here and we drag it up all the way and we drag this down so that it looks fine. Okay, and here I am at the topmost container as you can see. So this is the inside the top container, this is the title container and this is the topmost. So I click there, go to the layout. Here I change or I select this particular shading. Okay, so we got the shade. For this, I just select this particular sheet and select this particular sheet, select white, select this sheet, white, select this sheet and white within this layout. Okay, so now started coming together, right? That way we just keep making the progress. Yeah, this one is look a bit huge. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. All right. So once we have this, which now you can see is similar to this one. However, there is little bit more padding is being done. I will show you how you can do that. Even for this, the shading is white, like this one. And then what you have is the second container. So go into the dashboard. We need this chart and we need state. We don't need this. Possibly, and come here. Then we add one more horizontal container down at the end. And you will see that it messes up a little bit whenever we add it. So we need to improve this. Okay, so this is this. And then we have the we have these 3-3 views. So first view is this one, second is by product, and third one is by dispute. And we don't need this, so I will just remove this. I will adjust this little bit, and as you can see, it's a little bit of an exercise just to make sure we get the values right. Okay, then again select each of these component here, come in here in layout, background, make it white, come here, background, make it white, background, again white, select this, do this for everyone, and you have the right. So now we are like 90% there. If you will see, the little bit more padding is being done over here. So we'll start with this, and this is the outer padding and inner padding. So let's start with the inner padding. Okay, I will just do it a little bit more of outer padding. Okay, and now reduce the inner padding as well, because this is getting, the text is having a bit of a problem. Financial complaints, again I reduce this little bit. Yeah, 5 is I think fine, or maybe 6. Okay, now the same thing we need to do it here, and just remember that 4, maybe what we will do is I will keep it 4, and I will try and adjusting the inner one. Nope, this is messing up the chart. So this is the one we just need. Think maybe 8 is fine. Yeah. Then change this to 8. Change this to 8. And change this to 8. And you have this boxes. And you see these boxes are similar to the boxes over here, right? So that way you keep making the padding. Now I am leaving this padding to all these different components, 8, 8, 8, 8, and 8, and you will find the visualization or the information there. Okay, the next thing what we may need to do is add the filters. So to one of the charts we will add the filter. I will just go there on this particular sheet, add the submitted date submitted into the filter, range of dates, next, okay, and I will say show filter. This is what it is, and then we will come here in the FC overview dashboard, come here and view toolbar, filters, date submitted. We will make it floating, so we can put it here. Yep, that's something I'm just trying to do. Okay, I am trying to just adjust this so that it's properly coming. Date submitted, yeah, it's coming properly and showing a proper range from where to where. You can format this as you need, as needed. Also you can double click here and make it center, click OK, date submitted, and that way you will have your dashboard. The last thing which I will do is come here in this filter and apply to worksheet, all using this data source, so that if I'm changing this, it is reflecting everywhere. So guys, this is mainly what I wanted to show you, complete hands-on. Before I move ahead, before I put my final closing comment, again, this state is not coming properly. So what we will do is we will going to reduce the size and come here. Okay, coming along. We will further reduce it. Yes, this is also coming along. We will change this to maybe 7. Increase the size a little bit, then see it. Yep, and push it there. I think this much is okay. Yeah, so that's a little bit of adjustment we have to do with this. Whenever we create, as you can see, this can be slightly process of adjusting the size. Yeah, it is coming along properly. The only thing is I want to show these states. So label, again, what if I change this to 6? Okay, if I increase this size. Alright, they need a little bit more space, and that's the reason they are creating a bit of an issue. Okay. Alright. I increase this. And this one, what I'll do is I will increase the height to 900 and then increase this. Yeah, so this is what we will see as our dashboard, what we saw. So only thing is, issue is something needs to be formatted. You know how to format it. Also remove this by right clicking here and click on hide labels. Similarly, product, right click on hide labels. Everything is in place. That is as per this particular project or this particular great dashboard which I saw by Gandes Goldestan. So that's mainly about it, what I wanted to show you in this step-by-step dashboard, and I hope you have found it useful as to how you can go ahead and create this dashboard. If you have any other dashboard in your mind which you want me to recreate, you let me know in the comments or send me an email if you like, and I will take a stab at it and try to create you. If you find it useful, please share it on the social media. Please share it with your colleagues, your friends, if you are studying together and trying to create a dashboard. So that's about it, and I'll meet you in the next video with a new topic.